Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. I wanted to make a video about Austria in quite a while, some recent issues, some general points, but the parallels between Germany and Austria are very visible at the moment, or some people might also think that the differences between Austria and Germany are very visible right now. My point is, or my opinion is, that the differences are only differences of appearance, of style, superficial things, but not profound differences. Not that it really matters or changes anything. So, what am I talking about? Just like Germany is not discussing about the cases from Würzburg and the other cases that happened recently, um, Austria had a case of their own. In Vienna, there was a horrendous crime that happened. The details of that crime are not the topic of this video, but more the discussion about that and how Germans see Austria and what is actually going on in our countries, why these crimes happen. So I want to say a couple of brief words about it anyway, so that you know what I'm talking about. In Vienna, there was a case where a very young girl, I think a 13-year-old teenager, she is no longer among the living. She met three young gentlemen from the Hindu Kush, and they gave her some regulated, or no, not regulated, no, they're forbidden substances actually, and they tried to have their way with her. I didn't read up on the very, very gruesome details too much. I don't know if they succeeded in that endeavor or not, but something must have pissed them off. Either she was too intoxicated or she didn't want to do what they asked her to do, but they suffocated her then and they dropped her in a park, where she was found the next day or morning then. I mean, don't quote me on those details, but I don't have an appetite to delve too deeply into those minutia here. But this is basically what happened. So they used her like some object, and then they dumped her in a park. Yeah. So and now what I'm really interested in actually, because once again, it's not that I don't care about these things, but these things happen every weekend, all the time, everywhere. And it is tiresome by now to see and hear the reactions. They're always the same. They're cookie cutter speech formulas like, oh, outrageous crimes, our thoughts and prayers, and blah, 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 blah. And nothing changes. And it is exactly the politicians who made sure that these people come here, and these people, even though they commit crimes here before that, they are allowed to stay here, and then they are shocked and appalled and brought to tears, etc. So I can't hear that stuff anymore. That's disgusting. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk too much about it. But what I want to talk about is that some people in Germany, especially, still haven't understood Sebastian Kurz, the young and dynamic Chancellor of Austria yet. They still haven't figured it out. I mean, in the beginning, it looked quite promising. He had a coalition many years ago. I covered that. Very popular among the people with the Austrian Freedom Party. And then there was a coordinated attack using a hidden camera and some actors, so really some spy movie kind of stuff. It is the typical thing, they have a hot girl and they try to get a male politician into rooster mode, let's say a couple of unfortunate things in front of a hidden camera while he thinks that this is set in private. And yeah, so long story short, I mean, I reported about that too. It's happened a long while ago. This coalition ended then, and now Sebastian Kurz is ruling Austria together with the Green Party. And he was a Soros guy from the beginning, right? I mean, I actually wondered why he has a coalition with the Freedom Party. But I think they understand the Austrians very well, better than the Germans understand the Austrians. And that is that they have a different culture there. Yeah, Sebastian Kurz. By the way, Angela Merkel said nothing to this day about the events in Würzburg. Sebastian Kurz said something about this case from Vienna, and he said that he is not only sad, he is also angry. And he said that, oh, these people who claim to seek our protection and then commit crimes, this is outrageous, this can't go on, blah, blah. But I mean, if somebody among the Austrian citizens had said that, I would have taken that seriously. But he is the guy who makes the rules. He is the chancellor. He is the boss of the government. He sets the course for policy in Austria. It is his. It is the product of his work that these things are the way they are. So when the person who messed it up is outraged about the circumstances in the country, then what am I to say about that? That is weird. I mean, who is he complaining to? Like, seriously, he makes the rules. He is the chancellor. Of course, he doesn't make the rules by himself, but he sets the general direction. So he could only blame himself, really. Well, anyway, and so many Germans are now, oh, look, like he is a real chancellor. We need more people like him. Bravo, Mr. Kurz. Oh, we need a guy like that in Germany. Yeah, but what did he actually do? I mean, he said some words, and will he change something? Will he deport these people? No, of course not. He will make sure that more of them come in, and even though and maybe I should have explained that in my last video. I don't know really how it is in Austria. Maybe it's similar. In Germany, we have something that is called subsidiärer Schutz. Maybe I don't know how to translate that. Subsidiary protection. Well, it means some kind of protection, and that means if you claim you're persecuted, and then the German courts rule that no, you're actually not persecuted, at least you have no right for protection in our country, but you can still stay. And they give that a new name, subsidiärer Schutz. Yeah, they invented this new category, which just means that even though, you would have to be deported, you can still stay and you can even work. Great. Yeah. So, maybe they have something like that in Austria. I should look that up, but it doesn't even matter because Austria is full of these people. Yeah, they're walking around on the streets. You can see them, right? It's I don't have to go into the details. It is plain to see that yes, they have a lot of these people from these exotic areas that we don't share a border with, and we have nothing to do with these people. Why are they even here, right? And they're committing these deeds time after time after time. And people like Merkel just don't say anything, and they get away with it in Germany. And in Austria, you probably don't get away with that. And that is why Kurz has to give some energetic speech, and he hits the table with his fist, or maybe he didn't, I don't know. But he vents a little bit of anger, he lets a little bit of pressure out of the vessel, and then the people say, oh yeah, he told them, yeah, who is them? Yeah? Like, it's a joke. It's a joke, yeah. And it just means that in Austria the culture is a little bit different. You can say these things openly, and actually politicians are expected to say these things more openly. But that is not the point. This is just appearance. This is just folklore, you might even say. It's not even culture. Well, maybe it is culture of politics or something. But what actually matters is what changes. Are you implementing any measures, any changes, any new laws? Are you willing to change the situation? Will you really protect your people that you swore to defend? At least in Germany, you swear an oath and stuff like that to keep harm from the German people. Yeah. In Austria, I assume they do the same, or that is his job as a chancellor, as the government. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. These are just words. This is just theater. And I'm really shocked, even in the, not the mainstream, but even in the alternative uh, yeah, channels or media. Yeah, you read these comments, Kurz, if we just had a guy like him, then Germany would be saved. Yeah, are you kidding me? This is a joke. It's a bad joke, right? He's a Soros guy. He was that from the beginning, and he just plays the game the way it needs to be played in Austria, okay? To get the globalist agenda on the road and on the way. And in Germany, you play the game differently. Germans wouldn't, well, maybe in southern Bavaria or something, but that's close to Austria. But when you take the average of the German people, of the German voters, they wouldn't really vote for a guy like that long term who talks like that. And these politicians, they just adapt their style to what the people want to hear. Yeah. And the only thing that matters is what are they doing? Whose policies are they implementing? Are they implementing the policies of the globalists, or do they try to protect the people? That's the only question. And with Kurz and Merkel, there is no difference. No difference at all. Servus, Kameraden.